OpenAI's new Codex tools, how teams turn AI into real work. Explain OpenAI's June 2 Codex update in plain English, show why the product is moving beyond coding into role-based workflows, and give operators practical ways to test Codex as a real work system instead of a blank AI text box. OpenAI just changed the Codex story in an important way. It is no longer framed only as a coding tool. The June 2 update says more than 5 million people now use Codex every week, and about 20% are non-developers, growing more than 3 times as fast as developers. In plain English, OpenAI is trying to turn Codex into a real work platform. Here is the plain English map. Plugins connect Codex to role-specific tools and instructions. Sites let teams turn work into shareable interactive outputs. Annotations let users point at a specific part of a file, chart, slide, or page and refine only that part. The skeptical question is obvious: is this just better packaging? Maybe partly. But better packaging matters when the old failure mode was a powerful model with too little workflow structure around it. The most practical shift here is the plugin layer. OpenAI said it launched 6 role-specific plugins and that together they span 62 popular apps and 110 skills. That matters because teams do not want to reinvent prompts, permissions, and workflows every time they use AI. A data analyst needs a different setup than a marketer, and an investor needs a different workflow than a product designer. OpenAI is moving from here's a smart model to here's a packaged way to do your actual job. The June 1 AWS announcement is the second half of the story. OpenAI said frontier models and Codex are now generally available on AWS, and that matters because enterprise adoption often gets stuck on security, procurement, governance, and deployment workflows. OpenAI's broader enterprise message has been consistent too: companies want AI to become a unified operating layer for work, not a pile of disconnected point solutions. Codex on AWS is part of that path from tool curiosity to deployable workflow system. There are still real risks. Better plugins do not automatically mean better judgment. A polished workflow can still produce weak outputs if the data, review loop, or task framing is wrong. Teams can also create a new kind of mess if they spread AI across too many roles without clear standards. So the real test is not whether Codex can make something impressive once. It is whether teams keep using it because the work gets faster, clearer, and easier to review. The practical move is simple. Pick one role and one repeatable task. Connect only the approved tools that matter. Require a review step before anything high stakes gets shared or sent. Measure whether the output saves real time or just creates cleanup work. Then expand only if the workflow holds up. If you want a small-scale example of turning AI-assisted work into a structured asset, Howard's Side Hustle Command Center is one example. Disclosure matters: it is Howard's ETSE product, and it is educational only, not financial advice or an income promise. My judgment is that this update matters because it makes Codex easier to use as a work system instead of a talent show. The product shift is not only about what the model can do. It is about whether OpenAI can package AI into roles, tools, review loops, and outputs that teams actually keep using. The question I would leave you with is this: if AI gets grounded in the right apps, review loops, and role context, what becomes the real moat next? The model, the workflow packaging, or the distribution into everyday work? Create a polished explainer video in explainer format using whiteboard style. Keep the narration calm, source-backed, and practical. Use two-host energy if supported, a lead narrator plus a skeptical analyst asking whether this is real workflow progress or mostly better packaging. Change the visual idea every 3 to 5 seconds using source cards, plugin maps, role cards, AWS governance diagrams, annotation examples, and operator checklists. Do not use fake realistic office footage pretending to be evidence. Use interface style cards, product panels, workflow boards, and clearly illustrative scenes. 1 June 2, 2026 2. June 1, 2026 3. 5M plus weekly users 4. 20% non-developers 5. 3x faster non-developer growth 6. 6 new plugins 7. 62 apps 8. 110 skills 9. Data Analytics plugin 10. Creative Production plugin 11. Sales plugin 12. Product Design plugin 13. Public Equity Investing plugin 14. Investment Banking plugin 15. AWS General Availability 1. One-page summary 2. Links mentioned 3. Key terms explained 4. Practical examples 5. Watch list and risks educational analysis only. Not financial advice. #AI #OpenAI #Codex